Hello and welcome to another video with me, Winner Andrew, to another video of Weekly Andrew, in which this time I still kind of only really have one anime to talk about, like I have the last 3 weeks as well, but thankfully this time it is not Renai Flops, like last 3 weeks, but this time it's uzaki-chan. Mainly just due to the fact that I technically do kind of have something to mention when it comes to the Renai Flops, but it's not really that much considering it's more about the whole theory I originally had kind of being half correct, I guess. But, not much of a point in talking about it when it's just that, I feel like. So, yeah, Uzaki-chan, starting that right now. So, this episode we basically, well, the first half it was kind of just Uzaki kind of coming to the realization, starting to come to the realization that she actually is kind of already fallen in love with Sakurai. That's pretty much all the first half of the episode really was her real, starting to realize that she loves him. But yeah, the last third of the episode, I guess, pretty much, was basically Sakurai's family. Finally get to see them. In which, I'm just going to immediately say this, his dad is complete scumbag. Considering he basically kicked Sakurai out of the house once he basically got accepted into college. Just completely kicked him out to live on it, make it to where he is living on his own, just so he could basically have alone time with his wife. So yeah, bit of a scumbag move there from the father. On top of that, he didn't really actually say anything to Sakurai's mother at all. He was kind of saying that he was kind of keeping in touch with Sakurai, despite the fact that he really wasn't, and from what I can tell from what was in this episode, pretty much just ignored that Sakurai actually existed, and every single time his mother actually brought uh, up Sakurai, his father would just dismiss it and saying that he was busy or something. And did that for 2 fucking years, apparently. So much so that Sakurai has an 8-month-old little sister that I didn't even know about. Because his dad never said anything. So yeah, Sakurai's dad had over a year and a half to actually say something about his little sister that he has now, basically, and never did. Sakurai's dad is a complete scumbag. But also, another thing here is just the fact that Sakurai is in his, like, 21 or something, I think, and he now has a little sister that's 8 months old. So, yeah, that's quite a bit of an age difference. Though that is also something I guess I kind of can relate to a bit, considering I'd basically be the kid in that situation. Don't can't really relate to it exactly, but partially. Considering there is a generation gap there between me and my parents. Great! Really, it's not very often you see stuff like this, where you have that kind of generation gap when it comes to any families and anything. But, let's see. Only like 2 episodes? No, 3, I think. Maybe. I think it's 3 more episodes for Usaki-chan. 13 episodes total. I think that's what it is. But yeah, next week when it comes to anime, basically just 2 anime next week that's ending, I think. And then after that we get 3. There's 3 anime that's ending that I'm currently watching, and then it jumps up to 6 after that. So next week I'll have at least 2 anime, week after that is 3, and then after that is 6 at least. And at that point I'm pretty sure the majority of the anime for the season is ended at that point, with only a few straggling behind the rest. But yeah, that's the end of all the anime stuff. So getting into Devious Worlds, considering that's got updated last week. And what was added in this update, version 78. Just going from top to bottom like normal. Sai, I'm getting a car from her uncle. That thing there. which I'm not much of a fan of, to be honest, but yeah. Just kinda sum up what's just happened mostly. You fucked your uncle to get a car. There you go. But with what's actually added here from that point, continuing on, nothing really happens, just a week goes by and nothing actually happens, but at that where it's kind of ends, you've kind of gone over to your uncle's house expecting more time with him there. Though he's busy and you basically get to spend time with your cousin Keith, in which you basically start teasing him. That's basically where it just ends, with what's available currently. There are other options on basically who is going to be at your uncle's house there. One of this one just being your cousin Keith, or something there. But there's also other options there when it comes to, like, just more of the family around there, I guess. But yeah, next thing, Jamie and the special services from Nurse Joy, in which this is a kind of Pokemon parody thing in one part of Jamie's story. One of those routes there, in which this whole thing that you're kind of dealing with here is basically a discount Pokemon Center. And this Nurse Joy is a femboy. So yeah, 'cause that kind of explains the spelling of Nurse Joy there. But yeah, this here you basically just continue the special services by putting Nurse Joy in its place. And by morning, you kind of wake up to find that you have a massive bill that you can't pay and basically end up becoming Nurse Joy's slave, pretty much. Until he decides that you have paid off the debt, pretty much, considering he can basically pay you whatever he wants. So yeah, you're basically stuck being a slave for however long he decides to want that he wants to keep you. Yeah, definitely not really much of a fan of that whole thing. Just overall, the whole discount Pokemon Center here, the whole Pokemon parody thing that's going on this part of the game. But yeah, next thing, Holly visiting her family for Thanksgiving. Which most of this, I think, is kind of just getting set up, considering it is basically the beginning of one of the routes here and everything. So there really isn't much there, but what is currently available, you basically have it with, get to the point where you're basically just looking around, looking for stuff to do for the day, kind of, and help your parents, in which, well, kind of preparing to fix a fence, you end up spotting a wild boy, I guess, coming out from the woods. I'm pretty sure that boy isn't really a human, just saying that. But yeah, you end up taking him home to have him take a shower and stuff, and basically just take care of him. But while he's in the shower and you're looking for clothes for him, he just disappears and runs away. And yeah, he ends up leaving quite a bit of a scent behind, I guess, and just stuff happens pretty much from that point, but it's not really that much overall there still. So moving on to the next thing with Jamie and Maya with the potions again, which is basically take a branching path off of one of the other choices earlier on, kind of. More of a just how Jamie reacts to the whole Futa Maya, pretty much. Though it's not really a Futa, I guess. But, yeah. With this brute for this whole thing here, you're basically more of equals instead of being Maya's sub, basically, I guess. And you pretty much agreed to become perverts together. That's basically literally a thing that's actually said there. You just agreed to become perverts together, pretty much. And yeah, currently where that actually ends is kind of nice ending point, I think, considering it kind of just opens up on how you continue things the next day. Which the first option there is kind of messing around with the magic book more, now that you actually know this stuff is real. And that's of course what I'll choose first. without question, considering I don't really care about the other choices there, but yeah, none of that stuff has actually been written yet. But yeah, moving on to the next thing. Amanda getting the Space Explorer play kit for her little brother. In which this whole thing here is kind of still just setting stuff up for the most part, except for one route that's kind of splits towards the end a bit. But there is one early choice, though one of them doesn't actually go very far at all. But it's basically just you decide if you or your little brother will be the princess of space. And there isn't really anything for you being the princess of space yet. So with Ethan being the prince of space, he immediately gets kidnapped. So, yeah, nice there, I guess. But from that point there, you basically get two options that are currently written, which is asking for help, which you end up getting a bounty hunter, or you get a neural implant, basically, which pretty much basically just creates an Android version of you, I think. That's also, which also links you to the ship's AI or something, which also means that you literally cannot actually really leave the ship for the rest of your life. Yeah, bit weird altogether with the whole other option there with getting the neural implant kind of, but yeah, it's there. And there is really isn't much else there. You don't ever actually get to really save your little brother there yet, considering it's still just set up and everything. But yeah, the next one here with Cyan having the new class in the complete mage book, which is the Scholar Mancer class, which is basically a class that doesn't really actually have any attacks at all. Can't do damage and is just pure support, apparently. But yeah, pretty much like every single other thing from the game book stuff at the library, this is isekai, and you get thrown into someone else's body. But with this one here is kind of actually a bit different, considering you don't really get much control. Just start off immediately there, and you kind of have quite a bit of a story going on immediately that you have to go through before you actually get to do anything. But yeah, you basically just try and sum all this up, the whole situation. You are a part of the Academics Guild and merely rack up tons of debts just for getting isekai, basically, and being put into this body that's not even yours. So you rack up debt for being in the body that's not yours, and you also rack up even more debt for all the things that they give you to that they say you need to basically work the debt off by exploring, pretty much considering that's basically the only real way they really have for you to make money, considering the whole thing here is basically just explore, gain knowledge that you can sell to them to make money, basically. That's the whole main thing with this, pretty much, I guess. So yeah, they'll basically buy off the knowledge that you gain to basically help you pay off your debt at this point, in which they will probably also make a massive profit off of that knowledge as well. So you kind of get just screwed over altogether, considering they just keep trying to put more debt on you while not really paying you much in return, I think. That's all the gimmick there, which makes sense considering this is the Academics Guild. Hmm, totally not a scam. But yeah, with the actual content that has actually been added and not basically just ignoring the whole story setup and everything, considering none of that really matters in the end, to be honest. But with what was actually added for this, you basically go out exploring, of course, considering that's the only thing that's actually available currently. And yeah, you end up becoming a water horse's bride, apparently. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about that. I actually looked up what a water horse is, and apparently, from what I can tell, the whole thing that's kind of going on here is kind of just it's just something that was created for the game and everything, and it's not actually part of the mythology of a water horse. Considering apparently water horses are basically just lure people into water and eat them. Apparently, that's what a water horse does. But yeah, that was actually kind of hinted at in this a bit. But yeah, it's mainly just becoming a bride, pretty much. But yeah, moving on from that weird thing. So, last two here. Jamie, sneaking peeks at Miss Lorraine, which is your teacher, of course. In which, yeah, I don't think I really need to say anything for this. I think you can all tell where this leads. Just from what it says there in the update notes for this, with Jamie's sneaking peeks at his teacher. I think you can tell where it's going. So, moving on to the next one. Jamie, once again, with the whole thing continuing on from the Night of Glory. In which, yeah, this whole thing is actually a continuation of one of the roots that has to do with all those keys that you end up getting. Which is something I actually kind of forgot until I actually started reading through it. It's like, oh yeah, that's where this is from. But yeah, this is the whole thing where you gotta fake the fake sister from another dimension that's basically warping reality and making things weird all around her. With everything that's just happened at Night of Glory, everything's now lewd. But yeah, with this here, you basically just agree to your mother and agree to go to a sex shop. And you basically just agree and panic, kind of. So, yeah. Not really much there written, to be honest, for that one. But it's been added. I'm not really sure where that exactly go. One of the other further choices there, considering there is one current branching path there and everything. One of them I absolutely do not want to be going down, personally, because I just don't like the idea of it. But the other still is like I don't again know where what I would actually choose there, considering you have to choose stuff. And I don't really like any of them. So yeah, the whole agreeing to go to the sex shop is not really a choice I like very much, I think. But yeah, I've literally read everything in the fucking game here already, and I'm going to continue reading everything, even if I don't like it. Because then overall, I just enjoy it all. Kind of. Even if I don't actually like it. I just like the writing, I guess. But, yeah. That's Devious Worlds done, I guess. Ugh. Seriously, I talk about Devious Worlds quite a bit. Whenever these get the updates for it, considering it just takes me so long to kind of just go over everything that was actually added. Which makes sense, I guess, kind of, considering it does take me a few hours to go over everything that's added in each update most of the time, considering there's just that much added. So, yeah. I still didn't get around to streaming this week. Seriously wanted to. I probably would have actually got into a stream on Sunday or something, if it wasn't for the fact that it took me 6 hours to record a single video for the Golden Horde series I was doing. Seriously, 6 fucking hours to record the damn thing. Because of all the fucking bugs. And seriously, that basically took up my entire day pretty much, so I didn't really have time to edit. So I had to push the editing off into Sunday, which is not something I really want to do, considering this is one of the few times I've actually done the recording and wanted to do the editing on Saturday so I could actually have Sunday mostly free. Because I wanted to try and do a stream on Sunday. But yeah, I couldn't really do that because of how long the fuck it took me to record. And I had to push the record editing off until Sunday. Which kind of just took away the time I had that I would have had for a stream. Yeah. Hopefully I can do something better this week. I also did kind of check things with Bloody Europe 2 to see if there has been an update, and apparently there has been a snapshot or something for the next version that's kind of been put out, but it's not a full version yet. Or that's mod, so I guess I will be rolling back to the previous version I had installed for it. Considering there's no way in hell I'm continuing the same version. The mod I've been doing for a bit now, considering, oh my fucking god, the damn thing's riddled with bugs. But, yeah, I really do hope I actually have time for streams this week. Also, another thing I'm kind of been thinking of doing when it comes to over last week is just videos for Age of History 2 and mods for it and everything. I'm kind of thinking about actually streaming that stuff and kind of just kind of double up on the content I'm actually getting out of it and everything. Kind of. Just stream it and take the streams and edit them down into videos or something. So I'll mostly just be recording while streaming at the same time, pretty much. Just doing what I normally do when I'm recording, pretty much, I guess. But that's something I'm kind of thinking of doing, and I'm thinking I'll probably actually be doing that on YouTube instead of Twitch, considering I don't really think Age of History 2 kind of really has any kind of audience on Twitch, considering I do follow the game on Twitch and I never really see anyone streaming it. And when there is someone streaming it, they only have like one viewer. So yeah, I don't think there's really much of an audience for the game over there. So I'll probably be streaming it over here just to see how it does. So yeah, it's also kind of just because I make so many videos of the game over here, so may as well just do the streams here as well, I guess. But overall, I really do want to continue just doing streams on Twitch, considering I still think Twitch is better than YouTube. And I honestly do hope YouTube actually starts picking up the game there. It starts competing against Twitch a bit more when it comes to streaming. But then again, if YouTube does that, that kind of spells starts kicking Twitch out of the market, kind of, and have more of a monopoly on everything again. Which probably wouldn't be a very good thing. Yeah. So, it'd be nice if YouTube started competing against Twitch more, but at the same time, not. Considering YouTube's kind of much of a monopoly already. But then again, it's just because of the convenience factor for the most part. Seriously, I honestly wish there was more of a competitor to YouTube that was kind of decentralized, but also centralized at the same time. To be honest, I kind of have an idea in my head for something like that, but I have no idea how to actually go about doing that, considering, well, yeah, I'd kind of have to get servers for the website to run on and everything, and just have actually have people that can actually put the website together and all that, and just, yeah, I have no idea how to go about doing that, and actually taking the idea I have in my head and actually doing it. I really have no idea how to go about that. But, yeah, I got ideas in my head for quite a few things, to be honest. Kind of. But I really don't know how to go about doing any of them. It's annoying. But, yeah. I should be able to do Lessons in Love this week, considering I'm pretty sure that the update for it has gone public at this point. So I guess I'll be doing that sometime this week and be talking about that in next week's video. So yeah, Halloween update with a second Dorm Wars. Going to be a bit interesting considering this is also apparently the largest update to date so far, I think. But yeah, I don't think there's really much else for me to talk about. So I guess I'll just go ahead and end the episode here. So yeah, as there is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.